So we're going to the airport.
To the airport.
Sliding to pick you up. I'll give you a second to get your seatbelt on. Sure.
Safety.
It sounded. I heard the clip.
Yeah. Because is it July 1st that it's becoming mandatory that passengers in the back seat must also be belted in?
I've heard that it's already in effect. But I'm not sure. To tell you the truth, I have not, verified that for myself, and I probably should.
Yeah.
I do know that I need to have a booster seat for all children 7 and under, or a child seat for, if they're...
Keep straight.
Keep straight?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take you back out.
Yeah, I see you.
Keep there.
So those rules I know about. But whether everybody in the back seat has to, I know in New York you don't.
Yeah, it's like a state by state thing.
Sure. All traffic rules are actually.
Yeah.
Except on the interstate, because those are federal. So where are you going?
Arizona.
Oh, I like Arizona. Well, sort of like Arizona. I'm actually a New Mexico person.
Yeah?
Went to the University of New Mexico, yeah.
All right. A couple of years ago, I went out to Albuquerque for the Hot Air Balloon Festival.
I was there this last year for the Hot Air Balloon Festival. What do you think?
It rained.
Oh.
It rained. 50. This is the 50th year.
Oh.
It rained. It broke enough that we were able to see an ascension on one morning, and one evening the
glow.
The glow. Yes.
But you only got one ascension.
Yeah, and we paid for those select seats, so we're gonna do the day. I mean, you got your regular average yearly rainfall that weekend.
Because usually the weather is fantastic for
yeah.
Because it is the desert. It doesn't rain very often.
And can't remember where I was the next year, but there was a person in the group who had just come from the balloon festival, and he was just going on about how great the weather was. Wasn't the story last year?
Yeah, this year was pretty good. I only got there for one day though. I drove across country in this. It was my first long distance trip in this.
Oh my goodness! How long did you take?
2 nights. 2 nights. And I got there right around dawn on the last Sunday. So I only saw one ascension, and it was the last one. But it was still amazing. I got some good video of a landing out in the middle of Rio Rancho. And they managed to come down in a parking lot and then drag the balloon over to a park so they could actually deflate it on the grass and everything. It was fun to watch that.
Oh yeah, I've done a couple of hot air balloon rides.
Oh, you have?
Yeah,
so you've seen the whole process.
Yes. It's beautiful.
It's amazing what you can do with a little bit of gas and some cloth.
And I was just surprised at how quiet it was.
Yeah.
Except for the times when they would fire up.
That's right.
The balloon, but otherwise, I thought you were going to hear, wind rushing or something. No, it was just.
And you
quiet.
don't feel any wind because you're moving at the same speed as the wind.
Yeah. Very.
I lived in Albuquerque for a long time, and they had a news. One of the weather people did a little demonstration where they, dropped a handkerchief while they were in the gondola, and it just goes straight down.
Yeah.
It doesn't go anywhere else. It stays right there.
Charging stations?
What I did, part of the reason I got this model car was because it's got such a good clearance above. I planned out my trip so that I was out of charge, though my battery was empty, close to a state park. And I went into made reservations for the campgrounds and got an RV spot and just plugged into the RV jack. And the back seat folds down, and I had a twin air mattress back there, and the car's got a feature called camp mode, where it keeps the temperature at whatever you need it to be. I'm going to talk to the car for a second.
Sure.
It was going to switch into the right lane, and the right lane here is only for a right turn. It needs to be in this lane to go onto the expressway. The car was automatic driving, and it just made that mistake of going there. And when I disengage it, I tell it why. Because it wants to know what it did wrong. That's a dialogue comes up and says, automatic driving disengage. What was wrong? Tell us what we did wrong so we make it better. So and so the back seat folds down. I have an air mattress in the trunk. And the car's got a feature called camp mode, where it keeps the temperature. It has a heat pump, so it keeps the temperature whatever you need it to be. So, in October it was a little bit chilly, so I had the temperature set up to. I set it for 68 degrees. I woke up and it's 68 degrees in the car. And the car was completely charged, ready to go, and all my devices, my phone and my camera, everything was all charged up.
So,
and I'm at a campground, so I use the restrooms, and then I make my breakfast at the campsite.
Yeah. So, how many miles do you get on a charge?
This goes up to 300 miles on a charge.
350.
Well, not 350 on this car. And I've degraded the battery a bunch, to tell you the truth, because all I use is superchargers. I don't have a home to charge at. So I'm at a supercharger all the time, twice a day typically, because I'm driving over 200 miles a day. This car has 88,000 miles on it.
Wow.
And that beep was the car yelling at me for looking at the screen too long, not paying attention.
Gosh.
Because it knew I was looking down here rather than the road. Because this camera here is a spy. It's
yeah. Big brother.
It's there to make sure that I'm paying attention. It's a legal thing, actually.
Yeah.
And it's a safety thing, and I don't mind being. I feel like in some ways I'm a beta tester for this product. And that doesn't bother me because it's kind of cool. I find it pretty amazing that the car can drive. Almost in some ways better than I can typically. Except when it makes mistakes like that. And that one I needed to be there. Otherwise we would have been going into the university. and then it would have gone.
Yeah, and with this construction going on, the lanes are always shifting.
Oh no! See, that has no problem. It would, if it had gone into the university, what it would have done is realized that it had, and found a place to turn around and gone back the right way. That's what it would have done. I just didn't want to go through that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter where the lanes are. It's using vision and strictly vision to figure out where to go. It's not dependent on any sort of geo-mapping or geo-fencing or anything along those lines, like the Waymos are. This is strictly working off of vision, off the cameras. That there's 8 cameras on the car, and there's 3 up front to get the stereoscopic vision, just like our eyes do. So, like I said, this changes all the time, but the car doesn't have any problem with that. And now it's shifting lanes to get out of the way of this car that wants to go faster.
There's always one of those. Regardless of how fast you're going, someone wants to go faster.
I don't know why it wants to drive in this lane, but it does. So I'll let it for now. A lot of ships in this week.
Yes.
Yeah, so finding chargers is not a problem. And in between my nights, finding chargers wasn't a problem. It's all in the computer, and the car will actually tell you, where's the best charge, where's the best place to charge, how long to charge, and it tries to keep the charging times. Well, it does definitely keep the charging times typically to under a half hour. The only problem that I did have with the charging stations is some of them are in like the parking lot of a motel, and there's no other services around, maybe except for one gas station, and so there's no real services. It would be nice if there's always a restaurant or something, especially on the highways. Sometimes the charging stations were kind of isolated, as opposed to in a dense, commercial area that's surrounding, which usually surrounds the fuel stations.
Yes.
Though I went to one of the largest fuel stations passenger fuel stations I've ever seen. They're called Buc-ee's.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, there's a Buc-ee's coming here.
Oh no.
Yeah, Chesapeake, I think.
Oh, I guess Chesapeake makes sense, I suppose.
Yeah, I think it's
sort of feeding the Outer Banks crowd and all that. Wow. Well, anyway, I was amazed, but they had superchargers galore. They had more Tesla superchargers than any other place I've been. But they also had more fuel pumps than any place I've ever been.
That's just what I've heard about Buc-ee's. It's like, I don't know.
It's a little bit amazing, and yet it was busy. It's like it's a business model that people love for some reason. They were going out of their ways to go to Buc-ee's. Come on, cars. Shift over. Now, it should have shifted lanes earlier for that car coming on, as far as I'm concerned. So that's why I use the blinker to do it. So I can tell it to shift lanes, and it will listen most of the time by just using the blinker. But using this driving cross country was kind of nice because I can eat. Still gotta pay attention, but
Yeah.
that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I've passed Tesla sometimes. I've been a little concerned because it looked like the driver was half asleep.
But you can't really do that because of the spy.
Yeah. Where there's a will.
And I have heard that there are ways to trick it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I suppose it's possible that you are seeing somebody that has tricked it or something. Though I have to say, on the highway, just regular driving, the need to do anything about it, even when there's been obstructions in the road and stuff like that, it sees stuff in the road.
Mm-hmm.
What it doesn't see is potholes.
Oh.
It doesn't see potholes. So what do you do?
What do I do?
Well, I love your reaction to that. Yeah. Where are you going? What's your story? What's going on?
Well, I'm retired.
So am I as I work on.
I do. I do. What I want when I want.
Yeah, I love you. It's good for you.
Yes.
So let's say, what did you do for a living?
I was a social worker.
For the city or
for the city? Yeah, the city of Hampton. That was I was there for like 37 years.
Oh, so you probably
have worked in New Jersey and North Carolina as well. So about 40 years all told.
But you know Hampton like the back of your hand, huh?
Well enough, yes.
I've got an OG knowledge broker back here.
Oh, yeah.
Much respect.
Comfortable.
Much respect.
Yeah, I worked in child welfare, so adoptions, foster care, child protective services.
Yeah, that could be heart-wrenching at times, I bet.
Very much so.
You have family of your own?
I have a son and 3 grandchildren.
Yay.
Well, I think children, grand adults.
Right, yeah, I'm dealing with that too.
But I'm loving it. I relate so well.
To the young ones?
To the older ones. You know, we can have real conversations.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I'm blessed with my daughter and son. They're just they're good people, and they understand me, and I understand them, and it seems like we have a good foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it doesn't match with most of the rest of the world.
Yeah.
I've been plant-based since I was 19, whole food, organic. And my kids have followed that.
Wow, great.
Which is I one of the only things I probably did right somehow. And they're my grandkids as well, and so they're all very healthy and they care about their impact on the planet, and that means a lot to me.
Yeah. Where are they?
Well, my son is in Albuquerque. That's where he was raised for a good part of it.
Mm-hmm.
He was actually born on a homestead on the Little Colorado River. We had goats and chickens and all that while they were young.
Mm-hmm.
already stated.
Yeah. And your daughter?
She's in Seattle.
Oh, beautiful city.
She loves it. But it's so far away.
Well, once you get to Albuquerque.
Yeah, well, it's another 1,000 miles from Albuquerque.
Yeah, but it's 3,000 miles from here.
Yeah, I know. I lived in New York.
Oh.
I was...
The state or the city?
The city. I worked in Manhattan for a few decades after the kids were out on their own.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my mom's still in New York on Long Island.
Oh.
I'm here because I'm marooned. I am marooned here. I was sailing my boat south, and I needed parts because I was having a fuel problem.
Uh-huh.
And I stopped for parts, and I'm going to turn off automatic driving because otherwise it's going to hit every one of these manhole covers. And I found out that the marina that I'm at charged like a third what I was paying in New York, and even less than I was planning on paying in Florida. My goal for that winter was last winter, not this last one, the one before, was to get a mooring outside of Titusville, Florida, and watch rockets take off from Cape Canaveral.
Yes.
Because I just think that's amazing technology, and I just, I've always had an interest in astronomy. I took astronomy at the university, that kind of stuff. So I just want to see rockets take off.
Okay.
I hear it's a very amazing experience. Better than a fireworks show.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I stopped to get parts, but found out that I could hang out here and probably get the work done cheaper. And so I was looking for work, and I learned that I could rent a car, a Tesla, and provide this kind of service. I tried it, learned that there's no public transit to the airport at all. That if you want to go to the airport, you're pretty well dependent on a car.
Yep.
And that includes rideshare. I did that for 5 weeks and said paying Hertz the money I was paying them, almost $1,500 a month.
Wow.
Yeah. I said I could be a.
Yeah, it's a car payment.
Yeah.
So how are the repairs coming?
This will be the first spring that I'll have cash to do them. I'm researching, and now I've created a quandary for myself, looking at the price of what I want to do, what I need to do right, and the possibility of spending a little bit more and converting the boat to an electric boat. And so I'm a little bit. I expect to get at least some improvements done, but whether I actually solve the fuel problem or not, I'm not. Because I might just do away with fuel. Which airline? I'm sorry, American was it?
Breeze.
Oh, it's Breeze. Okay.
Yeah, it's first time flying Breeze.
Well, I've heard other folks that I've picked up from the airport that like Breeze.
Yeah, well,
and say they will fly nothing but Breeze if they can help it.
I have talked to some friends who live in Connecticut and who routinely take it down here, and they all had good things to say. I chose it because it has a direct flight to Phoenix, and the other airlines.
Southwest doesn't?
No.
Because I would think Phoenix is their hub, isn't it? I thought so. Oh, Denver is their hub.
Yeah.
So you have to go to Denver before you can go to Phoenix.
Right. So I said, well, I'll give Breeze a try. And then from Arizona, I'm going to Colorado. And I'm going to take Frontier there. And I'll take Southwest back here.
So what are you're visiting more family in Colorado?
Yeah.
What part of Colorado?
Fort Collins.
Ah. Somewhat familiar with that. They still have snow out there.
Don't say that.
My son just gave me a picture from yesterday. They have snow in Albuquerque, outside of Albuquerque. Do you know how to open the door? This button right there. You push it and push on the door at the same time. That does it.